Well, g'day, Curd Nerds. I'm Gavin Webber, and this is another Gavin Reacts video. This is number 3 in the series. It is one of my favourites. There are so many different cheeses in this video, sent in by all of you who watch the live stream. So today's Gavin Reacts features excerpts from Ask the Cheeseman 237 and 238. So thank you to everybody who sent in photos for me to have a look at and talk about during the live stream. Anyway, I'll stop waffling and let's get on with Gavin Reacts number 3. This one's from Evan Fitz. So it says, "Hi Gavin, please find attached some pictures for the gallery. Here's a quick summary of each. Vegemite cheese. I don't know if this is a cheddar or what. Here's a wheel of Vegemite cheese I mentioned a couple of weeks ago. Let me tell you that this one is delicious. It has a mild yet very identifiable Vegemite flavour, not overpowering in any way, more of a rich umami flavour. Highly recommended. Goes well grilled on toast." Fantastic. Right, so that's the size of the picture. Hang on, I'll just make it a bit bigger and you should be able to see that. Right, it says Vegemite number 2. Here's that bad boy cut. The marbling wasn't as pronounced as I was hoping. I might leave the annatto out next time, and there will be a next time. This one has proved to be very popular. Fantastic. It looks lovely. Really good. Yeah, if you did leave the annatto out of the cheddar, which I assume this is what it is, then yeah, the bits in the middle, the white bits, would be more pronounced, and the Vegemite veining would be, or marbling would be, much better. Okay, this is also from Evan, and I'll make it bigger. There we go. It says, this is Sel's birthday platter. I made a platter for my better half, Selena. Clockwise, we have Evan Bear, like Camembert, but better. Love it. Dark ale and mustard cheese, Jarlsberg, Gouda, and marinated feta. Absolutely fantastic. The next photo is also from Evan. I'll make it bigger. There we go. So this is the Camembert that was on the platter. It says, I think this one speaks for itself. My colleagues are all a bit miffed at me because I ruined store-bought Camembert for them. Indeed, store-bought Camembert is a lot different to what a good Camembert, raw milk Camembert can be. And last but not least for Evan, here we go. Whoop, oh, too big. This one is Castle Blue. It should be ready in about 2 weeks. I'll have a farmhouse blue that should be ready around the same time. Fingers crossed, for they are my first attempts at blue. Well, so far so good, Evan. Looks pretty good. You should get some good veining in there. Says, anyway, mate, I thought I'd show off some of my red cheeses you inspired me to make. Thanks for all your hard work educating us mere curdy mortals. Take care, Evan. Thank you, Evan. Appreciate it, mate. All right, so the next photo... this is from Michael and Jenny, and I think Michael's in the chat and Jenny's watching. Thanks for sending this in. It says, "Good morning, Gavin. Camembert at day 11. Jenny thinks it's time to wrap, and he said in the chat that it is. They are wrapped now. They look lovely. They got a lovely coating of white mould on them. And there's the Camemberts again at day 10. Oh, right, so a bit of a time warp. We went backwards in time. So, yeah, you can see that they got a little bit more mould coverage in a day or so that's good. That is a Mead washed Alpine style cheese, which looks like it's still being washed. So our next one is from Ruth. And Ruth is a long-time patron and member and YouTube watcher. Thank you, Ruth. Appreciate it, mate. Okay, so this is Ruth's cheese for Christmas. So this is Caerphilly with cranberries, and it's a massive looking cheese. This is yesterday I made my Christmas cheese. Here it is for next week's gallery. Sending love to you and Kim. Thank you so much, Ruth. That's a great looking cheese. I love that cranberries in there. Big chunky bits. And there it is. It's 3.545 kilograms. That's massive. That is such a big cheese. But yeah, Ruth, you may have to vacuum pack that because it's going to be hard to keep the mold off it, as you mentioned in your super chat. So yeah, very interesting. Great looking cheese. So the next cheese, this also is from Ruth. She sent this in late yesterday. Well, actually, this morning, my time. And you can see that it's a Jarlsberg, a natural rind, perfect rind. I love it. And the eyes are just magnificent. So beautiful eye development there, Ruth. And I bet the cheese tasted very, very nutty. So yeah, and in such a big form, you'll get that flavour throughout. That's beautiful. This one is from Scott. Scott's got a bit of a spiel, and he's got quite a few photos here too. So this is, says, "Hi Gavin, here is the pepper craze cheese cut open." I think we showed this in a previous gallery, the uncut one. It says it's a fairly balanced pepper medley of black, green peppercorns, chili peppers, and Szechuan pepper in Cowchego, which is his version of Manchego. Seeing Manchego is made with sheep's milk, he's called it Cowchego because he's used cow's milk. Perfect. It says, "I used the Manchego recipe from 200 Easy Cheeses by Deborah Amram Boys." It says, "For 4 gallons or 15.1 litre batch, I used 4 teaspoons of crushed black peppercorns, 4 teaspoons of crushed green peppercorns, 4 teaspoons of red pepper flakes." Red pepper. Is that capsicum or chili? You'll have to let me know. "And 1 teaspoon of crushed Szechuan pepper. The overall effect is a broad pepper flavour without any one being too strong, at least to my palate." Okay, that is absolutely fantastic. And there's another picture there. It's a good looking cheese, really does. That's very visually appealing. The next one is from Scott as well. Says, "Here's a few more pictures of cheeses that I've finished aging and what I've been working on the last 2 days. I've been vac packing all cheeses except for mould ripened as soon as they are dry after brining. How much does that affect cheese compared to natural rind aging?" Good question. And while we're here on this one, this is a Gruyere. Natural aged cheeses tend to be drier. The rind does lock in some of the moisture, but Gruyere, as you can see here, would be a lot drier. And the rind obviously would have all sorts of funky colours on it. But yeah, it's when you vac pack, you've locked in the moisture for good, and it's not going to evaporate during the maturation process. This is another one from Scott. This is a pepper jack from using my recipe by the looks of it. Yep. And some nice chili through there as well. Looks absolutely fantastic. And this is a Tomme from Giannis Caldwell's book. So very cool. Good looking cheese. And then I love the press. So this is a Whey Ricotta Salata in the press at the moment. I love the car jack. I actually very first experience with the cheese press was on the cheese making course that I went on back in 2009 when I first learned how to make cheese. And they used a car jack as well. Very similar to this actually, but they tightened it like way too much, over tightened it, and squeezed all of the fat out of the cheese. It was just shocking. But this looks very precise, I can say. Thank you, Scott, for sending that in. Fantastic. This one's from Tracey, mother of cheeses. Where are we? We've got a bit of a spiel here from Tracey. This one says, "My little one is away on vacation, so I've got a lot of time, me time. This is a 2-week-old cloth-bound cheddar, a little mould growing on it, but I'm leaving it, as you should too, Tracey. You will get all sorts of moulds on the outside. But yeah, good-looking cheese. This next one is also from Tracey. It says, this is a 1 pound Yesterdaze and I can see your thumb for comparison. So what's 1 pound? 450 grams for those non-imperial types. It says, I'm making gift cheeses for the next few days as there is parties for Halloween, etc. Very cool indeed. I like your yesterday's recipe. I'll have to make a video on it, as I think I promised before, but I never got around to it. Also, Tracey has sent in some camemberts for Sunday's class, so day 6. These are 3 inches wide and will be perfect in about 4 weeks. I prefer a firm paste. Have a great weekend. Indeed, that looks really nice. And yeah, when you wrap them, they should be very, very cool when they've got a full coating. And Tracey does teach cheese making classes in Port George. I hope I got that right. Or was it Port Prince? Port George. in British Columbia, in Canada. Very cool. Fantastic. Right, the first one is from Boris. And he's got a cheddar here. Hang on, let me see if he's got a note. Right, Boris says, Hi Gavin, here is my cheddar wheel that I've been aging in the cave right now. I had a problem with the curds being too small, but hopefully it turns out well. Take care, Boris. Yeah, I can see that a little bit of cracking there, and maybe a bit more pressure would probably help, mate. Other than that, nice cheese structure. It'll be interesting to see what it tastes like, and hopefully it doesn't get infected with mould, because with cracks like that, especially in the rind, you may get some issues. Anyway, so moving right along. Thanks for sending that in, Boris. Appreciate it, mate. This next one is from Colin. Let's make that a bit bigger. This is Colin's first attempt at Red Leicester. And Colin and I communicate regularly on the telephone, as he's one of my customers and part of the customer support. You get phone contact with Gav, and you can ask questions and all that sort of stuff during business hours, of course. I do have a social life occasionally. Colin says, Hi Gavin, I hope I have the correct address for the Wednesday cheese chat. Indeed. I haven't seen you on either, Colin. Maybe you're lurking in the background. I don't know. Just a snap of my wannabe Red Leicester for your cheese-making extravaganza gallery. I never call it that. It's just the gallery, mate. It's pretty cool. But thanks, mate. That's a lovely-looking cheese. Maybe a little bit more annatto next time if you're going to make a Red Leicester. But it's orange enough. That'll do, I reckon. It's going to taste fantastic either way, mate. You've done a great job there. Well done, Colin. This is from Kevin, and Kevin sent me some stuff. It says, G'day Gav, and greetings from the old Dart. I think that means England. Attached are a couple of pics of my attempt at your Wensleydale and cranberry recipe. You weren't kidding when you said this cheese takes a long time, but it'll be worth it. It is one of my most favourite cheeses. Also, see the pic of my homemade pressed. Hang on. So that's the top of the cheese. That's under its brolly. That is a nice looking cheese. I don't know what mould you use there, mate, but I like the little flange around the outside. Very interesting. But yeah, make sure that is vac packed as soon as it's dry, because you're going to get mould, and the cranberries do attract mould. I found that when I did mine. I had to quickly clean it up and vac pack it, and it worked out fine. Look, you can wax it if you want to. That's not going to be any issue either. But yeah, very cool. Well done, Kevin. Now this is Kevin's press. It says, also see a picture of my homemade press in action with 2 engineer bricks and a concrete block, which equals 22 kilograms on the nose. Best wishes, Kevin. Well, it certainly pressed your cheese well, mate. And I love the addition of the spirit level. I've seen so many wonky cheeses lately. I think people don't check, but that is spot on. And the bubble, let's have a look. It's in the center. Perfect. Absolutely beautiful. Well done, Kevin. Thanks, mate, for sending those in. Appreciate it. Okay, next picture is from Michael. Michael says, Hi Gavin, Red Leicester just out of the press after 26 hours. Now time for a couple of days drying. Not sure if I should have added more annatto. Michael and Jenny. Look, it looks fine. Red Leicester and Leicester cheese are the same thing, less a whole bunch of annatto. But that's a good weight. So 1.452 kilos. 1.5 kilos, what's that? 3 pounds, roughly, in imperial. But yeah, that's a good weight. Good weight, and look, the colour looks fine. But yeah, the more with Red Leicester, I think 42 drops of annatto was about, when I made a Red Leicester, that's the colour. I got the proper colour eventually. This is subsequent from the one that I made in the video, which kind of looked like this colour. But about 42 drops is about right, I found. But thank you, Michael and Jenny, for sending in that cheese. The next one is from Peter. Okay, so this one is a Bowland Lancashire and a Lancashire with red wine. Cheese made with raw Jersey milk with my own mother culture. Asked about Bowland recipe. It's very crumbly. It looks great. What are these? What are the things in it? I'm not sure. I'll have to go and look that up, but it looks interesting. I'll check it out. I'm sure there's a recipe. If not, Peter, you got the right email address the first time, so if you got your variation on the recipe, then yeah, if you could shoot it through, that'd be fantastic. But I love the red wine cheese. This is kind of the colouring I was trying to get on the red Windsor that I made. A bit stronger than this, but the marbling is absolutely fantastic, and I love the way it's all come together. Very nice, clean rind with no cracks. So absolutely perfect, Peter. The next one, this is Sage Derby, and yes, it's got some nice green. That's absolutely fantastic. Probably greener than the Sage Derby that I made. These are Camemberts, and they look ready to eat. Absolutely fantastic. Well done, Peter. I'm very impressed with your cheese-making skills. This is a Lancashire cheese using curds saved over 3 days to the original recipe from 1909. That is very... And it's cloth banded as well. If you zoom in, he's cloth banded the cheese with lard and written on it. So that looks like one that's not cloth banded, and that one is cloth banded. So well done, Peter. Appreciate that. That's really good. There is another one from Peter. This is his cheese board. Let me see. It says cheese board of Lancashire, double Gloucester, blue Lancashire. I don't know which one's which, but red Lancashire, Sage Derby, Cotswold, Bowland Lancashire, lactic cheese with herbs, and garlic, paprika, red wine, lemon pepper, and Belper cannoli, which is right in the centre there. But those lactic cheeses look lovely as well. Very similar to the Chebenet Tel Bazaar, which was absolutely lovely. The Maltese style cheese. That's a lactic set sort of cheese as well. And last but not least, from Peter, this is his Belper cannoli. So it's the black pepper version, and he's also got a smoked paprika version, but it looks like something else is on there. It looks like some smoked paprika and some bits. Not sure what the bits are, but yeah, it looks really good. They look fantastic. I hope they tasted great too. But well done. Thank you, Peter, for sending those in. Absolutely fantastic cheeses. Well done. And Peter has said in the comments, I'm just reading that now, I love live, dried fruit, apple and cinnamon is in the Bowland Lancashire. Thanks, mate. Well, I hope you enjoyed all those different cheeses. So much variety. So many amazing cheeses that you curd nerds make from not only my recipes, but lots of different recipes that are on the interwebs. Well, until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.